Now, asini nyina ne say, tieni yo, ebia na wuti na enomani bi wa won't ya say. But me beboa na ye nyina ye di nkomo yi dispassionately with no emotions attached. Tieni yemfa yakoma. Anase yemfa eyaw inni sa nkomo we. Enkomo ne say, hwe obi bia wonim Daddy Lumba free na shase all the way to 1990s muba. No, before 1990s. Even with the emergence of Lumba Brothers, will tell you say na mami nu eka Lumba Brothers. Na mami nu omoka Lumba Brothers in. No mun tunyum ni bi. But they were supporting. Na oba Teresa account. Ena Akosua Serwaa account. Tienio. It is a what is our mami nu we ka ho a. Then you also, it stands to reason, say, then the beginning of Daddy Lumba and cry na mobe ador no. Not this particular woman. On the TRC. So let me use that alone. Akosua Serwaa, she has been instrumental part of it. It's Emse Lumba suhu emwa obey de buan on abrabum. Enu odo a ode dono. Ni pim yi free ni pim e de dono. Ene ma around 1991 obeye ne ho ade organ. Otie 1991. Pretty for calculator 2025 to 1991 frame. How many years? How many years? 34.
2025. Minus.
1991. I say 34.
Yeah.
Passad number ni 2 34. 1991 oh. And omu encourages omu ye omu customary marriage. Na customary marriage na Akosua Serwaa no ye German citizen because why yet onu obi aye aware nkrata amono aba be Germany. But Daddy Lumba no e German, no e Ghana ni. No ni permanent stay ho. Okay. Entino Daddy Lumba koba nyina wo ware Akosua Serwaa. No onye German ni o. O e Ghana ni. Until 2004. And na omukoye krata mu ordinance marriage after yaye fie die no. Nti ordinance marriage no ebna omu aware no ko German krata mu. Because mind you, Germany and for customary marriage in Germany krata. It is a ordinance marriage no and the timi secure mad Daddy Lumba so be ye German citizen. It no share krata free Mami Serwaa ne ebusuafo ni bi ba na omu kire date a Daddy Lumba renouncing the Ghanaian passport also obey Germany. It's omu worry 2004 as in the ordinance. As against customary marriage omu year 1991. No omu te Germany. Ye worry wo hen Germany. Ye matrimonial home wo hen Germany. When a free matrimonial home. See, why would anybody sit up and say Akosua Serwaa abandon you? Your matrimonial home was Germany. When you were free Germany, so you have abandoned your family. Your family did not abandon you. Yeah, I'm sure. Unim, this whole issue will be our baby ojina. Omo waware na niji na wari onu wenya mpre bi mpranma na niji no. O baby ojina. And na the waware so asabi na wari ya ankoye because mpena bi ba mu besa aware no. O baby ojina. And na the person or justify the guilt conscience. Esi o baby ojina. Okay. It is a yajia to say matrimonial home or Germany. Na se be man in a free wa. Then we cannot stand anywhere and say so bana abandon you. Whichever reason or the free fee no. E yo no anasema. Whether say no yare no the excuse because to cry out loud, ye were Ghana had sika for a politicians in Yesika, omo yare. They go to this Germany. They go to US, they go to UK. It's yare pen a bema ye beba Ghana and kwase babe. Okay. Yanko eni. And se me copy a quote in moon so say Daddy Lumbe, yes, say, Omuna SEO. Say odo Broni 2006. This man had his ordinance marriage in 2004. So you are telling me that in 2 years, and will be 2006. That 2 years, and won't jawari you. Etino, why na kugu awari no? Why na be rawari? Why na be cause a problem? More than Sidia Mukodi and I made them they cancel 2006. And I'm so odo Broni. And I'm also worrying in 2010. 2010. It will odo Broni 2006. 4 years later, and worrying according to them. Now, 6 years into his marriage, no, no abrochino. And no babe worry about it is to free abrochi 2010. The next our rating or buy. And yeah, Muhammad Sido Mukodi and Yapon. What's your free abrochi 2010? And Abema Obana and Fuqua Obana's way free abrochi any be. And in a chiama. Oh, come on. It is so free abrochi 2010. And I must Mukodi dance or court say or odo Broni 2010. Then you are telling us the reason of Papa ni free abrochi. Now when free abrochi so yare no more free so about the worry for. It's simple. The calculation of the work. When you're Ghana, when you're Nkitwa de. It's what jai mamina. And now one also the Maubenya obey Germany, no. Mamina will say my rain fini dano. Why Johnny? Because when Johnny ho and it uma because when you're Nkitwa de. And what be worrying Nkitwa de according to a confessional 2010. It is original baby because or the yare and a bag Ghana and a year nature nipa no be truthful. Because on what dance did not quack say yare or be worry. Yeah, quiet. It is our banus who say in 2018 or banu say Matisia so worry our Ghana. Tane letter near no cry. Matisa wa worry or Ghana. Into kwajonti bra wa brumi emotional trauma odi ma fam nyina achi wasa jamwa ba be ware e wo Ghana ma umomu kra de nam se ma poison se letter now oba ne de ba ne ye no kra. This is what it means. One, you have abandoned your family to start a new family. Two, you are saying say mima poison. Oh, there be Oban let anymore or say San Walker. Now, have you thought about from 1991 Wawari Bema all the way to 2004 our legalizing our Reno in Emra terms to 2018? What this woman might have gone through. Mind you, Sebi Daddy Lumba or Nini Reno Horn no signing marching plan won't be a woo. So think about what this woman has gone through all these times. Think about it. Na ye ria ya saba benya lawyer for so represented Daddy Lumba. It is our represented Daddy Lumba. Next our represented everything Daddy Lumba na meboa. And ye then a lawyer for ko gina ba efa. No muja mami Akosua Serwaa ofa. How? Because you are representing the man. So why are you not representing everything about the man, but you choose where to stand and leave the other woman? And then you come out with a letter saying, say, umpokra ni jao. Because so don't sabai. It in say, your mouth pankra mo di be ye woman man ni abdomu because of nkwadano. Hello. So that point, the lawyer much say, yeah, no, ye jinafa. It is our lawyers we are sure some bit me at tonight Japadi HSO. Because from the beginning, you have shown where you belong. Now you said they are semi-copy quarter. You say, our real name ye no soon ti Daddy Lumba beye Germany ni. Our real name ye no soon ti odo Broni ma enya German passports. Last one ye ansan walk on. Sa warrior no ehon krata na ye nyinku. Na wo what when you ajiba who soon him say dey win the boama wo ma beye German for. But you are happy. How? How do you do that? Because in Kenya, Mia and Webema warrior, and can woman German passport. It's not. Now listen, Daddy Lumba filing for Nkwadano German passport issues, he never filled the phone say odo Broni and You know why? Because he was scared. Yes. So the stumps odo Broni and area. Oh, yeah, because who are you Germany? I won't crack Musa who are here. How could he ever would have said no? It starts to reason that send or worry in power this year. It starts to reason, even though me and me so worry no. And your checks with close people also says that no, there was no marriage. But your train will be am na be kana sem court. Ama mama na GD. Ti evan so worry. But o worry na, I didn't want him for ni din shankra temu. Abra no go pen kra no passport. I didn't to me na say or ko Germany or more ban for baby. Aden. Yes, who are abandoned abandoned no yari for 15 years in your dobro in the hand. Moon checking how many times that lumber two coin. How many times or call European countries go show. Nibo yaro two coin. How many of these days, these times or two coin, one coffee? Coffee. So I don't know. And I make an obiani baby ojina. Obia guilt conscience or the action so onka. But media me say mami etina say me so. Now was say awari who videos wa bonten. Aya hu so moti abroni fita gina wa or hwe. Amo masensa awari si sa awari no krata no. Enyina mu. Awari enu no gina so ma obroni emma etimi ba be German for dachi ono so betimi di afale aye Germany. Yesi enyina mu. And I said dachi okogina mu so ono so person o use nkra ne de ne de legitimize and aso odinya akonya o German. No any paboni. Because Daddy Lumba was never born in Germany. And how are you in Germany? It's in a then ye ma ye ni jiwo se sebi court and ya no crane eka. So utimi chantro. Na utimi polish won throw ni ye me agidia. And no better than no cre. It's no ye fan sa.
Ola me be ya me hu bibi. Yes German embassy for the entertainment G. Say and ya no press aware no egu.
No, ya no dey did that.
Where a new one, I'm sure.
Yeah, because I checked with that letter now. Omudi can't buy from German embassy. No, I checked that one on Saturday with guys at the embassy. Omunina said no. Nobody in this world can say that this letter is fake. Yeah. Nobody. So if the letter was to tell you say Papa no or Kunu Dada or Ire Dada, is the reason why that Lumba could never have used odo Broni's name. Even though no ye odo Broni ma home papers, he couldn't have used a name as Neire. It's the reason. It is a name. Mami akwa kotra say mi so na de enso ma no no so obeye. Say odo mumi enu ba beye eyi aware ayirenom because one ye ware odo Broni traditionally one and odo Broni mami ti ase ne papa ti ase ne wo fa no wo obi antimi ankwa akodi dance. Na mom ni nua ba kunu, nya ni nua ba mpo, ene ya coachi no akwa akodi dance esisi so. You okay with that? Ye niaji ye boshiri. Okay, yate. Eye high court SMO. Lower court in Betimia you see no as reference etia mo amoniaji no. Wo de amumo obi mamu kro. Yes I say ena wo no enam say wo German krata no yanji antumunti no. Wo ware 1991 tie ne de beji atum 1991 wo ware no wo de abramu sam beka wanse. Wo fa mare se beka wanse. Tade ne no na akwaji atum. Okay, waji atum je say wo se mani mienu yire. Yate. Say money me anu ye German for they do not accept customary marriage. Omuni ma de kro. So which will also negate Mami Akosua Serwaa even being married and a German citizen because it means that don't worry. But omun krata mu che say wa worry. Broni fita na sai onwa so they did mu document amamu. Yes say extra. And omun so mu terms look. Ye no ye ware ye bibia di she book ba kum na mayen abusua book nie olanie olia eyire ya abnam we ya me shira so dachi in the next 2 lives ola yire abnam we na ye manie ye birth certificate ye marriage certificate enie etu number bia obi hu onimo and this is the authentic and original document you are given so what's the main first original na make two every book in the bro. Also, that means that the judge and the lawyers, they didn't know much about this whole German system. And nobody sought the need, say, And then other than the young fa will be onim sadi we mu meye witness in my. And then you have your lawyer going to bring obi obeche traditional marriage say. Traditional lawyer would the ordinance marriage in the coin, would the marriage in the coin. Say opesi ejina so ma o client in the year the only wife. Eh then I walk for so mama church if you are worrying. Or the then if you are worrying already coin. You could have gone for obi or no name German system because no to authenticate your document because judge didn't understand your document. Say judge in a German document here and go and say a signatures in you too. Of course, a man sign a German warrior. They don't sign on the certificate. It's a year. They don't. And as a warrior Ghana and Pope, that's a muko Germany, Edikako legitimizing my warrior now. You transfer my warrior into the German system. You still don't have your signature on it. If the Ghana they are no green and white to say blue and white, no signatures also. But more the German more the signatures, they all sign a warrior na they all register warrior on the side say, me na me register warrior we. It's as simple as that. So we couldn't prove all these things. Any AG any yes two three and I ye mami penny na yes munka shen kodu say in towa ozo enya he yes a towa obefresi emesu bi mu a yemfiu. Look, Daddy Lumba deceived that young girl odo Broni no. That Lumba was not fair to the girl. Daddy Lumba koye interview and the dusty ho and I have it here. Oka say or per money be crack ho unya 5 crack ho. So it means that the man needed more case and then even baby and then baby no ntimi nya san koda bebrebe no. Mumu said say I didn't know when ya kukudura nja Akosua Serwaa.
At that time no I will be account because you see interview.
Oso bebrebe
2018.
2018 was up a 5 account.
Odo Broni so I was read that.
It was up a 5 account.
They are not embarrassed, but not all that year sema me who say.
No. The point from that conversation is open kwara bebre. Ebia at that point I will realize it's open kwara bebre. Now we yire entimi wu bebre ma. It will compare akoda bi ni na wo. Fair enough. But do not maltreat your wife. And my yen chan tron to no say wo yare na ba en wa ma me hwew. Mi wa so nim say oba no oba. On the mechi and my enchantron to no so because obi bia or Daddy Lumba chimpren nyina be catch you say on wo chimpren Chelsea me yire Akosua Serwaa they don't disrespect her. It means that do bad. You know what the woman has done for you
and what she has gone through.
It is someone who could dance here said or worry odo Broni 2010 so mutimi ka say oh or ka say me enfa camera ne ho me twa pictures ne ade ade a it means say simple no suru or this what you say? So a simple. There's no osro. No this idea no osro. What was his fear? It's because our Arabia won't jai. Our Arabia won't soon jai. Because so yes we will jai and the conscience grab kuno. And our Arabia so need just what ding. Need jai ding or ban pokra wow. Say what bread. The adri the pe odi enjai.
What's that?
One fee. No affair chire no nua ba kasa ma ya kwojojo na koma ye wia ne ese bedi oba na tem that is the date na nua ba na sina eda so support ya Akosua Serwaa because omu nyina anim de maami kakra wa ye de abo abusia but eja latter days eno de odopa amantem e de chire nipa bebre iti ene court case beba ye wo mo ya form so omunye pia ene e wo politicians so omu share chire because ebi mu pemwa to influence court case inti your politicians ya form no mo so boa eti kiane kinipa bebrebe catch you say even before the woman the day and impa ma me ne ba be reading the verdict no na omunim de ekọ omunim be be akosi because influential people be wha they were interested in the case not because they have shares in the case but because omuhu nipa bi ebi mu so the case edi aya adoye edi wini obi akoma ye humo ye fa phone ani afre baby case we de boame wati na gen wa bread do wa bread Daddy Lumba won de do ade no oswa Daddy Lumba na promoter yana no I want to understand no or da pampan so na no de na mana kaya ye for de bia na you can't be saying that More politicians here, humo. Yenim de mo ye. Once so a modeye, and a lawyer no can belonging to this camp. It also a cherry bibi, none and him go ase anymore. A lawyer na go no wakofaba. Asadodo. Case we come with the mamia madam for lawyer Kusia. It's a dande. Lawyer Kusia Pia. Oh, Obeku case. And finally, Yantia said this case was not a lost case for Akosua Serwaa. You know why? Amuko jina court kasi e jano aware. But they no so court anyantu anamewa. Amuko jina court se wodi ensa by so on ware bi. Iti omukra no mu hu ni se wo yeyire. Court anyantu anamewa. Iti naka ye jina no so aka se enam so onya yire ntin ko odo Broni nko na yeyire. But court so si dabi enyo odo Broni nko na yeyire. The ensum 1991 or ware we na mo na mo se so be ware we 2010. Iti the point is enyo odo Broni nko na yeyire. Iti what she did was not opese or equalize ade no because she had already had it in mind. Name hu me ready maamena na she had already had it in mind. Said this is what she wanted to do and she has done it. Mesre nyame aho de ma maame Akosua Serwaa. Na mesre nyame ebambo mo odo Broni. Ene ne ma no. Se nyame ebo mo ho ban. Mesre nyame aho de nso ene ninim de ma lawyer opese okọ appeal. Me de mesre ne se ompe lawyer ba ku mienu nka no. No mo nwene ho how they will address it. Winning an appeal case and not form. I didn't know I got to baby. I dey hon na tre. And me say and they can lumba asem kwa and they be my listeners abem. Me pacho obo what he ti dodo.
I called a friend from Germany.
What's now one
family book ola. I've taken a family book from Germany. Omo the back be small Uber abreme. Me sure say by drive time no mo the family book number.
Omo the obi the family book bro.
Me donya mi ola. Me donya me say and they drive me the family book ebeba. In Germany, I want your gun now, and then you were saying it. I was like, this man knows. When you go and sign your marriage certificate, their Uber signing was on a binding.
You will never get a copy of that again.
Their Uber signing was on a binding, and when they give you the family book, your signature is not on it. Before they will bring it to I have a copy of the family book. I don't.
They've shared a lot of it. So.
Your signature is not on the family book. And then about the fact that the two way that they brought had different signatures. Yamfa they say mina at that time how do you call it? Yamfa say nipakona or signing under the government say I recognize this marriage, or no pen on the signature book no so. Now let's say you have somehow some way lost your certificate or you've lost your family book. When you go, the next person in government is the person that will sign. Say me free abemu. Yamfa they say obe worry no. Na moko sign here na MPP na so. Me na me signing book ni mamu. Se book ni yira somehow somewhere na so certificate yira somehow some way. Na se wo ba biem se o pese yemfa from mawa. Se MPP NDC na abaswa NDC ni not one on the signing. So now that is why they have two different signatures on it. How are you telling us that you
two different signatures on two different
on
copies?
Different because first copy you never say my first copy. Second copy na me kwa jini pa kono wa abemu no mo change na. Whose signature is going to be on it? It is that person's signature. And I am so.
Abna your boss say Rebecca said.
Oh,
your boss Rebecca said. It's in your friend. I see about this Rebecca. Why? I was your boss. Akwasi Aboagye, the darling boy. Also on so be can. It's boss. Good morning.
Morning, you like to
Adam. Now so
Egusunga Kranka, you are to the say.
Yeah, then I say. Yes, in Komoy, also 2 cents be. Yeti Wadaroma.
I think the observation we have making. And as a student of law, a hard drink I can have me. And I think that I just want to put it across. And this observation has to do with commentary we are making, particularly from United Showbiz and Alope, you are making that same commentary. And because you have this opportunity being behind microphone, I'm for the donor to be fast. So I just want to sound this caution. It's just a caution. You'll be able to be after this judgment. I think that comments are free, so they have the right and they are free to comment on this thing.
Mm-hmm.
But this impression we are creating, we seem to be creating as if judge na kwa ye bonibi ana I say attention be na and then I want to caution because who can be about that and yet we need the bed down and now I deal with the bed down you see yeah you know I say yeah the civil marriage was them and yeah the bed down and your customary you don't have to talk about customary. That impression is wrong.
Why?
Yes, sir, next year.
Aden.
Okofa a year krata in some krata a year Akosua Serwaa plenty for the court dance court now. The beer ni mo express or stating explicitly say I am coming to fight for my civil ordinance marriage. There's nothing like that. In fact, if you go through the relief, just a moment, because I just want to. If you go through the relief,
is it the 4 pointers, Nana?
I'm saying that if you go through the relief,
I can read it here for you.
No, I have it. I'm saying if you go through the relief, but if you want to read it, that's fine.
Okay, what do you mean?
No, but you can read the relief.
Na maybe say na
yeah, I'm talking about reliefs. I'm not talking about pointers.
Okay, so reliefs. You mean reliefs? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay, sorry. First one, or say an order of this honorable court declaring that the plaintiff is the only surviving spouse of the late Charles Kojo Fosu, aka Daddy Lumba. Pajo
yeah.
Mentuazo.
Yeah.
B. An order of this court declaring that it is only the plaintiff who has the right to perform the widowed right of the late Charles Kojo Fosu, aka Daddy Lumba. C. A further order restraining the first defendant from ever dealing with the second defendant as spouse of the deceased. D. An order restraining the second defendant from carrying herself as the surviving spouse of the late Charles Kojo Fosu, aka Daddy Lumba. Ibacho reliefs in here.
Okay. Ibacho Ola reliefs no. Simply means that when you are a Akosua Serwaa kuma so say court no nothing ni onhwe no nkama no meboa.
No correct.
Okay. And if I no can say reliefs now can kind no say civil marriage was them say may ba become a civil marriage no. And if I
okay.
You know cancer meboa.
Baby, meba.
Spouse.
Ibacho mami ye no ano answer ne akọ. Ana.
Me too.
Okay. An order of this honorable court to declare a plaintiff as the only surviving spouse. If she was in a customary marriage, there is no point that she would declare that she's the only surviving wife, knowing very well that customary marriage gives the man the right to marry other person. The second we leave, which is to seek to say the second defendant, should not carry herself as a spouse, also confirms the fact that she is insisting that the kind of marriage she was in with the man does not give anybody right to be a second wife or even a wife. That is my understanding of this relief.
See, question of me, Busane say, "Now can kind of see it. Una would they unchile to mu abetusu? You say release na asem no de court down court no. Asem no se court in command no. If I know we say what true we say. The order of the court to declare that I am the only civil marriage ordinance. Do you see anything like that?
You see, I didn't really say that. Man kasao.
Ola, who's the gyina abotire me busa question me say.
No, BB said
Busa question na me dey make a point.
me pacho na be civil marriage edin bi ania.
Okay, so you see, or say if you look at the word spouse, 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 that is all the release you hear spouse, spouse, spouse. Is that not what you see there?
Yeah.
So you see, this thing we are talking about, a yembrao, and yes, you. Ola minu mi ebi ese ni edin komo say no. You bet me aka wadwen come adwen, but emra ya shisha to ho say, minu mi enu na parliament, omo say emra so okay. This is emra because it's in ba. Ola be kan wadwen, me kan wadwen. We need a middle point. The middle point is the emra no. What the emra says, because Ola wo twi, me so me twi. Why the emfa? Nia ya no emra. Emrano says a spouse. So now, if you come to Emrano now, spouse, you can be a spouse in three ways. Either you are going through the Mohammedan marriage, you are going through the customary marriage, or you are going through the civil marriage.
Good.
Now, we know, sir, the assembly is based on reportage amount for the Maya free court. We have not had the benefit of the true certified copy of the judgment that the judge gave. Have we had that?
Yes, and we acknowledge that even on the United Show, we say, yen change na yen getting the right weddings, but based on what has been reported,
If I ask a question, I appreciate it because I want to begin a bit idea. So if I say, have we had that? We have not had that benefit of the certified true copy.
Yes.
So it means that any statement, when we are making comments, it is important that we get careful. Because once we have not had it, read and see the black and white. This is what the judge said. Then it means that we have to be very careful to make a comment here. Now, let me move from there. I am saying that Emrano, my what they call it, spouse. So Emrano has three forms of marriage: the civil or the ordinance. Then we come to the woman dance. Then we come to the customary. Then it came out there. Akosua Serwaa, 1991, did a customary marriage. That's the first thing. Second, in Krobonum Akosua Serwaa had ordinance marriage. So, Emranso said, once you do ordinance, it cancels the customary.
Okay, and so, me pacho kitwa bi wa ha the who can nyina so is based on reports. Me pacho says sanity. The who can is also based on reporter we're receiving. Says sanity.
Definitely.
Good. Then to us.
So once you do the ordinance, it cancels the customary. Right.
True.
So report linear so far as you near judge and king kind. Judge never kind the final verdict. Or king kind the three forms of marriages are you. With your share ordinance, what share Mohammedans, what share customary. Meaning, when we get to the 74 pages and 74 pages, there's also a Benjamin kind. So, in Krobonum, you are supposed to prove. Remember, when Akosua Serwaa a year plaintiff, sorry that made you but because in the case you are there, so Akosua Serwaa a year plaintiff. As the plaintiff, you are the one putting the pleadings. Pleadings basically, una already claims, una will make allegation. Akosua Serwaa said, "When I'm your, you should say the court should declare I am the only surviving spouse. I'm the only surviving spouse. If you're not making that claim, that assertion, says, me penny or yere. When I say prove say, there will say penny or yere. DNHS or your yere. See, that's to persuade the court, no.
And also.
In Krobonum na bede they say, oh, your customary or your ordinance, but my team say brave once a wire ordinance, no. Then about the track customary. No. So Akosua Serwaa has to prove that Me ordinance no, man me the only surviving spouse in me. Court no and yantum per the report. Court no and yantum said. Adia would be say, I will bring say a cracky for our demon. Who penny or yeno? Manje court no and yantum. Ask you, only court in yarding, only court in yarding. I know you come off for because I know in the full certified to copy every bit me above at me. But once you don't, some of the things you have to be careful. But for now, we all know that court no and ne attract for our DNA.
Yeah.
Again, if you read in Samankrata and Obia, every it is tried knowledge, which is a knowledge that Obia Usiam Rebian himself. And if you go and read Akosua Serwaa in Samankrata, you tell the judge or you tell court says, as what the honorable court deemed fit. That is what you are saying. So, undi bibia ubo nkuro di unkawa se nyina ula utani nyina wia nya court ni be fa bia abeka bia rofa ubetina ka se on court ni nya adwi
And then in Yadu, yeah, which is allowed.
Yes, but obefa unti asia utimi ko higher court to appeal.
Exactly.
So if wa would you ask them ko dan ula be di ma asem breo na me ka kire me say oh nya ula bia beka bia no mefa na se ula kata wie na se ola na me si ola nya de baby a mefa na me kasa wie na fidie me tasia me nam na me to ayampia na me kan sem se enya wa na osi ni ola be ka bia befa yes ola me ne wonya adwen but me so nya waka no mefa. That is the caution that I am just sounding. Say we shouldn't create impression, say, because when you are presenting your rate of sermon, your claim, your statement of claim release, you also write in it as whatever the court deems fit, the honorable court. The law lies in the bosom of the judge. We know this thing. The judge says, "Yeah, I say see." And
yeah,
you understand?
Yeah.
So media and then you be original Timakosia was team dead. That's not my problem. But my and especially today, I mean, you know, you have the benefit of microphone. We shouldn't whip up sentiment against the judge, against the court, against the judiciary in that manner. Yes, sir. We are not helping the society.
Okay.
Court, you might disagree with the court, but let's not create impressions. Say, as if say, Ubi Kota judge, see, Ubi no command judge. This woman, apart from saying with Brano, she's born further living, is a PhD holder, a doctor.
Yes, and I mentioned it on TV. Said, well, you're a PhD holder.
You think that this judge, instead of saying, you better bought Mamina Basono. 70. Look at the number of days they use in handling this case. Everybody.
Bro, as I said, me share see with TV, so me bona baso. Me bona baso with the day, with the number of days or the tna sem no so. Me bona baso. Me pacho me nim say what one part no one.
I am not unnecessarily attacking you.
Okay.
Yes, but I'm using you as a reference point.
Oh, okay.
And I'm saying that we know we have that benefit. You are sitting in the microphone there. We can say pim 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 no muti usabri. So I'm just saying that but we should be careful about what you want to say about judge. The impression we create about the judge, the court, the judiciary. That is all that I'm saying.
Okay.
Apart from that, I don't have any problem as to what anybody wants to say.
Okay.
But when we want to say things about Miami way, people are doing odo Broni, people are and because you see when we hear past sentiments like this, that is what also fuel or like embolden people to think that judge, when you judge and yet this, that and Yama, and I've listened to interview. I'm sure that Minister was small for the interview that Lawyer Kusi himself did with Dazi TV after the judgment had come out.
Yeah, I have it here.
The judge has said something that himself is being claiming that the judge has impugned on his integrity. Because the judge more or less past comment that suggests that Makoye Kululu. Kululu na mayeno. And so me can't them. So the man himself, he was sad when he was saying that thing. You could see from his demeanor said, for me to practice for like 20 years plus, for the judge to impute, and it is incumbent on lawyer Kusi himself to push why the judge is making, because the judge said the reportage said the judge it says me can't because you said okay be about having signatures. Reportage amati so far even the judge made comment about the fact that there is one rigid operator who verified the signatures of a document purposely was parading. The judge made comment and said that person who even verified that document is not authorized to do what he did. All these things are important things that we should investigate. Say, if the judge made a comment like this, is it true? Why? Because those things are borders on criminality. They were trying a civil matter. You don't make civil and criminal matters. This is a civil forum. Judge.
But wait, sorry, I think said they're okay. It will also be important see about Chama ruling. But Bania said it was captured in her ruling, and I said BBC
No, I'm just saying that.
The issue with the lawyer Kusika said judge in this Makoye Kululu be near Deno, and even the judge also saying say,
me say, and you have been a maker. That's what I'm saying that I made reference. I referred to the interview.
Yeah.
Me say, Konako interview Dazi TV after the judgment.
I have it here. What my name is here.
Yes, and if you have watched it closely, what I'm saying is that by inference, say judge made that comment impugn on his character, integrity. And I'm in America.
Yeah.
So I'm saying that it suggests that Makwakoye Kululu. That is what I'm just explaining.
Okay.
I didn't say that the judge said that in
Mr. Akwasi Aboagye na Motene Kano. I'm not you were talking. And then me say na be ma.
Me go drive. Why?
Ode.
My family don't go drive. I'm the time to come.
Me ba book ne the
family book.
Omo French Dutch ni du Chombo di familia.
Oh, where is the book?
Okay, so who should book him? I mean,
your friend Stambuk the family.
The family.
Stambuk the family.
Yeah.
This is the book. Every day blue, every day red.
Every day green.
Yes.
But it depends. Where free Roberto?
Germany.
Where Germany?
Yes.
And I'm a birth certificate.
Check me on birth certificate, the birth certificate.
It's all in the book.
On papa no. Ni signature and then the birth certificate.
Of course. Nyawo
What else here?
The
odo Broni lawyer lady no. After the whole verdict, on also shared the reason why they didn't accept the certificate, saying they were supposed to translate it, blah blah, everything that they asked for. I am asking the lawyers of Akosua Serwaa. So almost say na nka wose moye no. Knowing say unim say oye ukunu. Mo and divorce, whatever they are asking, do it and go and appeal. They should go and appeal, and then whichever translation they say they should go and translate it and bring it. And then they should also learn that there is no signature on anybody in Germany's. There is no signature on anybody in Germany's marriage certificate. There is signature in that sono. And also, mon come where they say obi obi. I tell you, Papa, hey, are you one obi ewu? Obi ewu. Everybody that was at the wedding of Odo Broni and then
wedding.
If you're wearing obi ewu. Ha. Hey, everybody don't die.
Said that the lumba no ye superstar no penny padodo.
It is no pa no obi ewu.
Omo nyina ni adaje omo da.
You see omo ewu.
Da bi o ye no ye you. Abusia panyini e de no ka o.
I say obi ewu.
In respect to the what do you call it? The entire say or den sabe fi a obabe gu aware no
enti omo wo obi na obi
awu omo wo ne omo ka kire no bebre na awu aka ya ba ya ya ba ya.
When there is a video of Akosua Serwaa and Daddy Lumber's marriage in Germany happening, I don't know why they didn't even present that in court. But I am asking the team to do better. And like you said, lawyer Ronja, like the talking is too much. At this point, I'm partner now. Can Kusia Piao on the way to I.
Oh, Kusiapia better.
Kusiapia were he.
The Kusiapia cry and you cry a lawyer Jumo. Dennis.
I think they should, yes. Dennis, they should go and regroup. Do their because in this case, even heaven and earth attest to the fact that she is the wife. And then now maybe them person business say bigamy no ought to be found called Germany and if I call assembly court.
But you say nipa only be court for bigamy the person is no longer alive.
Maybe it's like so prove you or Germany or
no.
Onipa na
yinja no. Because say be an almost strategy. Say you move on step by step.
Be an can say and also I have one.
But the point is that so long as Daddy Lumba was a German citizen, nothing being done will affect him. Korano or no odo Broni Korano. The only secured. You be antimi say Japadi saying they are secured.
Yeah.
Because Daddy Lumba and omo kwa koye in Korano passport ye money ye DNA.
Yeah. Inti uncle assistant ni na.
Patcho me source James and Korano phone or ye omo ye mom.
Yeah.
Made minimum about 6.
Because me allegedly about something anyway. When can't hear me see anyway.
It's me me catch almost say A B or ye previous 2 no ye na nyom na ye man. Made me almost say 4 na me. Anyway, nti wo susu a wo tie no me ma akwan wo so brem. And then me say wo so bebem. And
I have one last thing to say.
We are not announced for
now. To Daddy Lumber's friend. The one who went to stand behind the gate. I am bien no. Me pese me bo udin wa wunim usi ukojina gate yachi ubo mu ye miewu unam kwan so uko 2 hours na friend say we free mu. If you know this and he was your friend and you are quiet, you to God is watching you.